The other day, while dressed up, he looked in the mirror and said, "Mommy, what am I?" So I asked him, "What do you feel like?" His response was that he felt like a girl and wanted to know if it was okay to be a girl even though he had a penis.
It's the most natural thing in the world for a little boy at age 2 to say, "Mommy, I'm a girl." It happens all the time. It is your job as a parent to be the reality check. What you really should have said to Jazz back then was, "You're a boy, honey. Why do you ask?" Because biologically, that is what Jazz is. And second of all, there's nothing wrong to say to your 2-year-old son, "You're a boy." If you think that's offensive for me to say that you should have said that, it says more about your ignorance than mine.
I could hardly speak through the tears that were burning behind my lids. He looks at me with such sweet innocence, and I just embraced him as if to make it all go away.
Why on earth are you crying?
My sweet son just came to me with 2 ponytail holders. He asked me to put his hair up like his sister's. I patiently managed to divide and put his little bowl cut into 2 Pippi Longstocking ponies. He looks so precious and very much like a girl.
So many boys do that. Are you kidding me? Especially gay men when they were children. Just ask any gay man if they've had the same experience as Jazz when they were children. It's also very natural if a boy has a sister that he's interested in what she likes to wear, what she likes to play with. And when you think about how the mom is like clapping her hands saying, "You're so sweet, honey. I really like when you do that," the boy wants to do it even more.
Are you a boy or a girl?
A boy.
If I asked you every day if you're a boy or a girl, what would your answer be?
A boy.
Hypothetically, if you knew that if you changed your answer, you would get loads of attention and presents and you'd get to play dress up with me all the time and we'd film loads of videos together, be like the centre of my attention. If I then asked you if you're a boy or a girl, what do you think your answer would be?
A girl.
And how come you'd change your mind?
Because I like loads of attention and gifts and love.
But ultimately you are...
A boy.
And how old are you?
6.
You cannot blame the children, it's only natural to please their mothers.
We looked into the mirror together, and I told him how cute he was, and such a cute and pretty little girl. Well, he was thrilled that I referred to him as a girl, and looked up at me with his enormous brown eyes and said, "Do girls play sports?" I said, "Sure."
If that's true, then why are you crying? Why do you think that something was wrong with your son when he was playing with dresses, saying he was a girl at age 2? Of course you don't believe that boys can wear dresses when your own son couldn't do it without getting diagnosed with gender dysphoria at age 3. I made another video about it where I said at age 5, which is still sick in my opinion. Apparently I was wrong. It was when he was 3.
I said, "Sure, girls can do anything they want." He replied, "Really? I can do anything?" And he began to dance around and gave me a big hug and said, "I love you, Mommy, and I love my hair."
Is this shot good? Of course it made him happy. You gladly wanted him to be a girl. That's how it works. When children are children, they want to please their parents. That's why it's your job as a mother not to confuse your children. Not to let your children decide who they really are. Actually, I do sound really woke when I think about it. We always hear from woke activists, "Oh, parents, they don't know their children the best." The children know themselves the best, so leave the children alone. Let them be their authentic selves. In this case, the mom made a decision for her son. She let her son on, and it's not okay. I think there's something deeply wrong with this mother. It's actually scary to this point. This mom truly needs therapy because she had a son playing with dresses, girl toys, and his sister, and the mom thinks it's a problem, crying about it, writing it down in her journal. And the most disturbing part, she took her son to a specialist when he was only 3 years old.
I remember him dancing around, and just the simplest thing like that made him so happy. For a child to say, "Mommy, what am I?" and look up at you lost, and wanting me to put his hair up.
You are aware that that's not gender dysphoria, right? What you're describing, what we've heard from Jazz's story altogether, is not about gender dysphoria. A 2-year-old boy cannot express that he's dealing with gender dysphoria. It's something that you're born with, sure. Meaning a 2-year-old technically can have gender dysphoria, but there's no way that a 2-year-old can express it, can talk to his parents about it. I mean, 2-year-olds can barely talk. And speaking of that, this is apparently what Jazz said when she was only 2 years old.
When I was 2 years old, I went up to my mom and asked her, when is the good fairy gonna come with her magic wand and change my penis into a vagina?
You were 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a lie. Jazz did not say that. Jazz Jennings' mom is lying. Have you ever met a 2-year-old? There's no way in hell that a 2-year-old can say that. It's impossible. This is fabricated. This is a lie. The mom keeps lying about Jazz's experience. I cannot. I have really strong memories of the emotions I felt before I could speak, as well as my actions. That's not true either. This is something that your mom told you, which is probably a lie. Why did anyone buy this? Before she even began to walk, she figured out how to turn her onesie into a dress by undoing the snaps. Isn't that normal though? I was 3 when we went in for the appointment, and I liked Dr. Maryland right away. You can't remember that. You can't remember who you liked when you're 3. Come on. Dr. Maryland pulled out 2 stuffed dolls with an important difference. They were anatomically correct. She asked what I had between my legs, and I pointed to the She then asked what I wanted, and I pointed to the That is so effing disturbing. I'm not gonna accuse someone of anything on this channel. However, I do think it's very disturbing and disgusting that adults are sitting with a 3-year-old boy talking about his genitals, talking about what type of genitals he wants. If you know a thing or two about children, this is not how to talk to children. You will not find out how they truly feel by asking him those questions in that order. And if you don't believe me and you don't think that Jazz's mom said those things to her and Jazz didn't say all these things herself, talk to any transsexual adult and ask them if they had that language when they were kids. You really think that Bug Angel, who's 60 years old, had that language? You really think that transsexual adults can remember what they were feeling when they were 1 or like 6 months years old? Do you think we have like some sort of superpower? It could be great though, so I wish. The mechanism that makes someone a transsexual person is the mental disorder gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is something that you're born with. Just like any other mental disorder, you cannot help feeling those feelings and dealing with that disorder. But that doesn't mean that if you're dealing with a mental disorder, you will know and you can put that into words when you're only 2 years old. It doesn't mean that you understand exactly what's going on from the age of 2 or 5. It takes you years to understand. Do you know why? Because it's all a process. Do you know why? Because it's a biological condition. Do you know why? It's permanent.
Do you know that you're a special girl?
Yes,
And why is that?
because I have a girl brain and a boy body.
Being trans is not a religious thing. There's no such thing as being born into a wrong body. I was born into the right body. I'm a biological female. I was born that way. I'll die that way. The only thing that didn't really work for me was how I felt about it. That's why I try to fix it. It doesn't mean, though, that I'm a man inside, but unfortunately a woman on the outside. It's irrational and pseudo-religious to think so. Everything that Jazz says is coming from her mom's mouth. This is transactivism. This has nothing to do with the real world. It has nothing to do with transsexualism, because transsexualism is not an ideology. It's a condition. You cannot diagnose a 3-year-old with gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a chronic condition, and when you're only 3 years old, there's nothing consistent about what you're doing or feeling. It's impossible to know if the child will grow out of any gender confusion or discomfort that they would call gender dysphoria, which I think is inappropriate, and most of the time when boys are playing with dresses and with girl toys and their sisters, most of them will end up gay. They end up as gay men, and I actually think that's okay. I don't know about Jazz's family, but I can actually accept that. Please don't send any hate to Jazz. I don't hate Jazz in any way. I actually think she's the victim. I think her family is really harmful. And I just want to say that I hope that Jazz is happy. I really hope that Jazz is happy with her transition because it's irreversible, especially because she got 4 bottom surgeries. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, remember to hit subscribe and the notification bell. If you want, you can support me with a small donation under Super Thanks. It means the world to me, so thank you, and thank you for supporting me. Click the link down below if you want to become a member of this channel. Remember to follow me on Twitter and on Rumble under the same name. And I'll see you all in my next video. Peace out.